Some of you are genuinely 6 months away from changing your life. And I only say this because it is the path that my life took once I actually locked in, went for something, took a risk, held accountability to myself, and stopped being scared. So many of you are swallowed up by the mindset of these days. What if I fail? What if I can't do it? What if people make fun of me? What if this goes wrong? And that's okay. We're all humans. We're made with emotions. I get it. I'm a human too. To act like I wasn't nervous going into journeys, scared going into journeys, it happens. We are ingrained as a society these days that college is the only way. If you don't get a degree, you're going to be on the streets. If you don't get a degree, you're going to fail. And you know what? It's hard not to fall for that trap is what I'm trying to get out. And it's not even a trap. There's plenty of people who enjoy going to college, plenty of people who get good jobs going to college. A lot of your guys' biggest problems is you guys just don't want to take action. You guys don't want to take the chance. You guys don't want to take the risk. Everything's too hard. Everything's too difficult. I'm going to quit. But then down the line, I'm going to complain that I don't have what successful people have. I'm going to complain that I don't have what, well-disciplined and well-motivated people have. And that's the thing. A lot of you guys just don't want to take action. A lot of you guys are so close to where you could be, and you just don't take the action. You see, years and years and years ago, I was working in a warehouse every single day. Fast food jobs, warehouses, all these different places. I always knew I wanted something more for myself. I always knew I wanted to be successful in other ways. I knew I wanted to take a chance at something. But again, I was nervous. I was scared. I listened to the people around me telling me that it's not possible. And I procrastinated. I picked around at some things. But overall, I was just stuck in this warehouse every single day. But you see, the thing is, once I realized, okay, if I take this chance, that's 50% of the battle right there. 50% of the battle is just taking the chance, is taking the risk, is starting. There's people out there who could genuinely change their lives and change their families' lives, but they're just too scared to start. They're just too scared to initiate themselves into the journey. And that comes with emotions. That comes with fear. I get it. We all have these things. But the fact of the matter is, my story wouldn't be able to be shared here on the internet. I wouldn't be able to share my, journey as a trader and share my student success as a trader if I didn't take that chance. I have students in my Discord every single day learning and growing and making money. They invested in themselves. They took a chance. They tried to make something happen, and here they are now learning day trading, getting thousands of dollars of payouts, having 5 figures a month. And that's all because they decided to invest in themselves. That's all because they decided to take a chance. And that's what some of you don't understand. A lot of people these days will look at things on the internet, whether it's trading and all these other things, and they'll say, oh, that's a scam. I can't do that. This guy down the street told me it's a scam and I'm going to fail. And that's your guys' number one problem. You don't have faith in Christ. You don't have faith in yourself to take a chance on a journey, to take a chance and push yourself past, your limits, push yourself farther than your limits. And that's one of the greatest things that you can do is, really try to push yourself, really try to grow as a person. And sometimes that comes with uncomfort. And I'm not going to act like these journeys are easy. I'm not going to act like if you just, start doing all this stuff, you start trading, you start working on all this stuff, you're just going to have it so easy and you're never going to fail. Absolutely not. Failure is a part of the process. Failure is a part of the game. What I'm trying to get you to do in this video is realize you could genuinely be where you want to be in the future, but you're just too scared to start. You're just too scared to take that action. Okay? Like I said, I was working in warehouses. I'm type 1 diabetic. I've had heart conditions. I was working in fast food places. I've had like 7 jobs. I've worked for political campaigns. I worked at PDQ. I worked at Subway. I worked at warehouses. As I said before, I'm type 1 diabetic. As I said before, I've had heart conditions. Everything is against you in some way. Sure, we all have blessed lives in America. We're not in the same position as people across the world are. I completely understand that, and I completely admit that. But in some ways, in some shapes and forms, everybody has tough cards that they have to deal with. Everybody's life has a story. Everybody has something that they go through. If you allow yours to be the reason that you don't take a chance on something, that you don't take a risk at something, that you don't try to push yourself to achieve greater things, then I'm really sorry. You're in no position to complain to anyone. You aren't. You're in no position to complain to anyone. As I said before, and I'll continue to stress it again, taking the chance is the bigger part of the battle. Once you actually start, you take the chance, you lock in, you figure out you're going to do it, you put your head down and you go for it, it all starts to become easier. And I'm telling you, you'll start to fall in love with that process. Take it from me. I went on, before I became a full-time trader, making 5 figures plus a month, 70 grand in a month, I had to go through the process of failing, of learning. And it sucked. It wasn't always fun. It wasn't always fun to fail on a daily basis. It wasn't always fun to blow accounts on a daily basis and realize that I feel like I'm not making any progress. But man, at the same time, I realized I took this chance. I took this risk. If I have complete faith in Christ, complete belief in myself that I can do it, and I never give up, I will succeed one day. And here I am, full-time trading, made over $72,000 plus in a month. And I teach a plethora of students how to do it on a daily basis that took their chance, that took a risk on themselves. That is the battle, guys. And a lot of you don't understand. A lot of you could have a completely different life if you just decided to take the chance, invest in yourself, and take the risk and stop being scared of everything. Man, it's so insane, some of the potential that some of you guys have if you just weren't scared. I really, I really get lost for words sometimes when I hear people say some of the things they say. It's not that I don't side with them. I completely understand. Hey, look, we come with emotions. We're humans. We're made by God. I get it. It's hard sometimes. It's not easy sometimes. I completely understand that. But the fact that people will carry on so many excuses and not be men and grow up and say, you know what, I'm going to take the risk. That's where they get in trouble. And that's where they could see their life change if they could learn to get past that mindset, guys. Your mind has super control over you. It does. And if you can learn to beat that, if you can learn to look at your mind and say, you know what, I'm not going to let you beat me today. You may be telling me something, but I'm going to contradict you. I'm going to go against you, and I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to make it happen. And that is the battle that if you guys can get past, some of you could genuinely see your lives change. If you locked in on a daily basis every single day and went for a path and went for a journey and truly didn't let anyone budge you for 6 straight months, you might not have $1 million. You might, but I'll guess you won't. But you could genuinely see so much improvement. Maybe you've had your first 5-figure month. Maybe you locked in and got over a porn addiction or something like that. Maybe you locked in and you got bigger and you got in shape. But can any of those things that you see successful people have and you comment on TikToks, oh, I wish I had this, can any of that be achieved if you don't take the action, if you don't take the step first? No. That's my point. Lock in, take the chance. God has your back no matter what. Peace and love to all of you. I'll see you in the next one.